Welcome to Lesson 1 in your Keys to Communication course, Psychological Comfort. So let's define the challenge. There are some great predictors of human behavior based upon our genetics, biology, and experiences. To me, the most important one that empowers us with amazing knowledge of ourselves and others is the understanding that each of us seeks and craves psychological comfort. As we age, what provides psychological comfort can become tricky. But for our simple purposes here, it is essentially things that make us feel safe. With this knowledge, we can make the next leap, and that is we will always act in our own best interests according to what we think will make us feel safe. For some, it is material wealth. For others, it is title and possession. And for many, it is simply healthy, strong relationships. When you can step outside of yourself, your ego, your vanity, and insecurities and truly see the world from the perspective of someone else, you have what is called great empathy. With that empathy and knowledge, we can begin to predict what other people will do in order for them to feel safe or psychologically secure. The greatest communicators, leaders, spy recruiters, and forgers of trust constantly and consistently are assessing others and providing that psychological safety, even second by second if needed. So, know your purpose. One of the most important techniques for being able to provide psychological comfort and safety to others is to first understand how we view psychological comfort and safety in ourselves. The most concise way that you can provide psychological comfort to yourself is to understand your purpose. Knowing your purpose can be the most challenging question that any human being faces. If you still are unclear about what your purpose is, that's okay. You're in the majority of the people on the planet. If you're taking this course with me, I can guess at an element of your purpose already, and that purpose is service. If you're looking for the skills to be a better communicator, often it's because you are trying to be of greater service. Being of service to others is what servant leadership is all about. When we're acting in the service of others as servant leaders, whether we have a title and position or not, it provides our brains great psychological comfort. So even if you do not know exactly what your life's purpose is, let's start with service. Now, let's validate their self-opinion. Another way to provide psychological comfort to others is to validate their self-opinion. Everyone has a way in which they view themselves. This self-image is regulated and governed a lot by our ego, and that ego depends upon the opinion of others to a lesser or greater degree in all of us. Once you discover the other person's self-opinion, which includes their priorities, their values, their morals, their ethics, their choices, that is a part of their self-opinion. When you validate that self-opinion and become curious and ask questions without judging, you're validating that self-opinion and providing great psychological comfort. So here's an example. For most of my career, my job was to recruit foreign spies that did not have our country's best interests at their heart. Many people think that recruiting a spy is all about manipulation, subterfuge, and deception and all that hooky spooky spy stuff. In reality, recruiting a spy is the ultimate form of forging trust. Think about it for a minute. If you're asking someone to put their lives and potentially their family's lives on the line in order to betray their own country, if you don't have trust, there will be no progress forward. The number one concern of any spy about to potentially betray their country is their safety. And what do we say safety is? It is psychological comfort. The biggest challenge I or any other spy recruiter ever had was constantly and consistently watching and interpreting all the behaviors of the spy that we were trying to interact with and provide that feeling of safety and psychological comfort. This relates to the civilian world in the same way. If you're a leader of an organization, whether you have a big team or a small team, a big company or a small company, you need to create psychological comfort and safety for your people in order for them to innovate through challenges and problems faced every day. If people don't feel safe in the work environment, they're not going to solve problems. If you're in sales, you're rarely, if ever, selling just your product or service. You're selling yourself first. And what you are selling is psychological comfort. Both the product and service you're offering as well as yourself is what's providing that psychological comfort or safety in terms of a pain point or friction point in their lives. So let's practice this. Here's a quick exercise to try for yourself. This exercise will demonstrate the power of providing psychological comfort. The next time you interact with someone, pay close attention and discover the challenges, priorities, and any kind of friction points they may have in their life. This is easily accomplished if you are listening more than you're speaking. And when you're listening to what they are sharing, you can follow up with a simple question. Try asking, what sort of challenges are you currently facing? Discovering someone's challenges is an easy way to identify a potential pain point or friction point in their lives, or issue that is causing psychological discomfort. Once you discover these challenges and priorities of the individual, think in terms of how you can be a resource for them solving that challenge, or how you can be a resource for them solving that problem or challenge. In other words, take time to figure out the roles, responsibilities, jobs, and challenges people are dealing with and offer yourself as a resource to solve them. You will start noting a distinct change in their behavior when engaging with you. As people begin to see you as a resource for their psychological comfort, your personal brand will soar and your relationships will deepen and your path of forging lasting trust is set.